ただ自分らしくいるだけなのになぜか周りを引きつける女性がいる。この言葉を聞いてあなたの心にある羨望や深い疑問が浮かび上がりませんか？もしかしたらその秘密はあなたがまだ気づいていないあなた自身の奥底に隠されたとてつもない輝きなのかもしれません。この問いは私たちが長年抱き続けてきた真の魅力とは何かという根源的な問いへとつながります。外見や地位、あるいは一時的な流行に左右されない永続的な引力の源とは一体何なのでしょうか？あなたは特別な努力をしているようには見えないのに、なぜか周囲の人々から自然と愛され、深い魅力を放つ女性の姿をこれまで幾度となく目にしてきたのではないでしょうか？彼女たちは無理に誰かの真似をしたり、社会が求める、こうあるべきという方に自分を押し込めたりすることなく、ただ自分らしく存在しているだけで、まるで磁石のように人々の心を引きつけ、その魂に深く触れていきます。それはまるで満開の桜の木がただそこに咲き誇り、風にその花びらを回せるだけで私たちを言葉もなく魅了し、心の奥底を揺さぶるような行為難い美しさに似ています。私たちはみんなどうすればもっと魅力的な存在になれるのか、どうすれば真に愛され、心の底から満たされる関係を築けるのかを日夜模索しています。社会が提示する理想の女性像に合わせようと努力し、時には自分自身の本質を見失いそうになるほどの無理を重ねることもあります。しかし、どれだけ外見を磨き上げ、知識やスキルを身につけ、社交的な振る舞いをしても、心の奥底で感じるあの漠然とした空虚感や自己肯定感の欠如が消えないのはなぜでしょうか？真の魅力とは、表面的な飾りや一時的な役割ではなく、もっと根源的な何か、あなたの存在そのものから生まれているのではないかと、心のどこかで強く感じているのではないでしょうか。もし、その何かの正体を深く、そして明確に解き明かすことができれば、あなたは無理することなく、ありのままのあなたで、人を引きつける真の、そして永続的な力を手に入れるとしたら、どうでしょうか？この問いこそが、私たちの魂の奥深くへと誘う、壮大な旅の始まりとなります。今日、私たちは、この深遠なる問いに対する、これまで誰も語ることのなかった真の答えを、20世紀の偉大な精神の探求者であり、人類の無意識の奥底を覗き込んだ哲学者、カール・グスタフ・ユングの深遠なる心理学の光の下で、白日の下にさらします。ユングは、人間の心が私たちが普段意識している表面的な部分だけでなく、広大で神秘的な無意識の領域によって深く、そして決定的に形成されていることを、人類で初めて体系的に明らかにしました。この無意識の中には、私たちが普段意識しない思考、抑圧された感情、忘れ去られた記憶、そして何世紀にもわたる人類の普遍的な経験が蓄積された原型、アーキタイプが息づいています。ただ自分らしくいるだけなのに人を引きつける女性が放つ、あの行為が対輝きの正体は、まさにこの無意識の領域、特にユングが提唱した個性化の過程を通して現れる、彼女たちの内なる自己の純粋で揺るぎない輝きに他なりません。これは単なる魅力の秘訣や表面的な自己啓発のテクニックではありません。これはあなたの心の最も深い部分に宿るあなた自身の真実と向き合い、これまで見過ごしてきた内なる宝を発見し、それをこの世に表すための哲学的かつ心理学的な、そして人生をかけた大いなる探求となるでしょう。あなたがこれまで気づかなかった、あなた自身の奥底に眠る無意識の輝きが今、あなたの目の前でゆっくりとその姿を表し始めます。そして、その秘密を深く理解し、自己の無意識を勇敢に探求することで、あなたは無理なく、ありのままのあなたで、人から深く愛され、心の底からの真の充足感と、揺るぎない自己肯定感を得る、計り知れない力を手に入れることになるのです。この発見は、あなたの人間関係だけでなく、あなたの人生観、そしてこの世界に対する認識そのものを根底から揺るがし、あなたを全く新しい、 そして真に自由な世界へと導くかもしれません。ある若い女優がいました。彼女は容姿端麗で、その演技力は高く評価され、舞台や映画では常に観客を魅了し、多くの熱狂的なファンを持っていました。しかし、彼女自身は心の奥底で常に、漠然とした、しかし封されない不安を抱えていました。この人気は、本当の私に向けられたものではない。私が演じる役やメディアが作り出す、作り上げられたイメージに向けられたものだと彼女は感じていました。彼女は与えられた役を完璧に演じることに全力を尽くしましたが、カメラが回っていない時の自分はどう振る舞えばよいのか、何が本当の自分なのかがわからず、常に心の奥底で消耗していました。彼女は自分自身の空虚さを感じていたのです。ある時、彼女は偶然にもカール・グスタフ・ユングの心理学に関する書籍に出会います。特にユングが提唱したペルソナ、仮面と自己の概念に彼女の魂は強く惹かれました。ユングは私たちが社会生活で演じる役割としてのペルソナ、社会的な期待に応えるために身につける仮面のようなものと、意識と無意識の全体としての真の自己である自己、あなたの心の中心であり、魂のブループリントを明確に区別しました。この女優は自分がこれまで世間の期待に応えるペルソナを完璧に演じることに集中しすぎて、内なる本当の自分、つまり自己の声を聞き逃し、その存在すら忘れていたことに気づきます。そして彼女が本当に求めていたのは、役を通して得られる表面的な評価や喝采ではなく、ありのままの自分自身が心の底から愛されること、そして内側から自然に湧き上がる真の輝きを放つことだったのです。この痛みを伴うがゆえに真実である気づきは、彼女の演技に深みを与えただけでなく、そして何よりも、彼女の人生に真の安らぎと、計り知れない充実感をもたらしました。彼女は、もはや無理に演じることを求めず、存在するだけで人を引きつける、本物の、そして揺るぎない輝きを手に入れたのです。それは、彼女が自分らしさという最も強力な磁力を発見した瞬間でした。なぜ、あの女性は、ただ自分らしくいるだけで、私たちをこれほどまでに深く引きつけるのでしょうか？その答えは、彼女たちが私たちの多くがまだ足を踏み入れていない、心の深遠な領域に到達し、そこに眠る真実を目覚めさせているからかもしれません。ユング心理学は、私たちの意識的な自我、エゴの背後には、はるかに広大で、全知全能とも言える心の中心があることを明確に示しています。それが自己です。この自己は、あなたの意識的な自我、エゴと、広大な無意識の領域、そしてそこに存在する影や原型、アーキタイプといった、あなたのパーソナリティ全体の管理者、あるいはあなたの魂の羅針盤のようなものです。私たちが普段自分だと思っている意識的な自我、エゴは、この広大な自己のほんの一部に過ぎません。例えるなら、海に浮かぶ巨大な氷山の一角が意識的な自我であり、その水面下に広がる、まだ見ぬ未知の領域、計り知れない深さを持つ部分こそが真の自己であると考えると、その計り知れないスケールを理解しやすいでしょう。この自己こそが、あなたが内側から湧き上がるような本物の輝きを放ち、周囲の人々を自然と、そして深く引きつける究極の源泉なのです。それは、あなたが本来持っている魂の本来の姿が放つ光に他なりません。しかし、この自己の輝きは多くの人にとって簡単には見つけることができません。私たちは幼い頃から社会の期待に応えようと自分本来の姿とは異なるペルソナと呼ばれる仮面を身につけて生きてきました。そして時にはその仮面が本来の自分であるかのように錯覚し、真の自己を見失ってしまうことさえあります。さらに私たちは自分自身の内なる影、シャドウを無意識の奥底に押し込め、見ないふりをすることも少なくありません。この影とは私たちが意識的に認めようとしない、あるいは見たくない、自分自身の暗い側面や抑圧された感情、未発達な特性、 あるいは社会的に不適切とされる衝動のすべてを指します。それは、あなたの弱さ、不安、嫉妬、怒り、劣等感、あるいはあなたがまだ開花させていない潜在的な才能であることもあります。私たちがこの影から目を背け、それを否定し続けるとき、自己の持つ本来のエネルギーの流れは滞り、真の輝きが曇ってしまうのです。なぜなら、真の自己は、光も闇も、長所も短所も、喜びも悲しみも、そのすべてを含んだ全体性であり、いずれかの一部を否定することは、自己全体の輝きを損なうことだからです。あなたが自分らしくいようとすればするほど、なぜか周囲から反発を感じたり、あるいは無理をしているような感覚に陥ったりした経験はありませんか？それは、あなたが自分自身の影の部分を拒絶し、完全な自己としてこの世に存在することを無意識のうちに妨げているからかもしれません。真の自分らしさとは、光と影の双方を受け入れた時に初めて現れるのです。自分らしくいるだけで惹かれる女が放つ、あの人を引きつけてやまない輝きは、まさにこの自己の計り知れないエネルギーが、彼女たちの意識を通して、この世界へと流れ出ている確かな証拠です。彼女たちは自身のペルソナ、社会的な役割としての仮面を認識し、それが本当の自分ではないことを理解しています。そして、さらに重要なことに、彼女たちは自身の内なる影と勇敢に向き合い、それを意識的に統合することで、より全体的な自己へと近づくという、ユングが個性化の過程と呼んだ壮大な旅を歩んでいるのです。個性化とは、社会的な期待や他者の視線に縛られることなく、あなた自身の内なる声に耳を傾け、あなたの魂固有のブループリントをこの世に実現していく、自己実現のための終わりなきプロセスです。それは、あなたがこれまで無意識のうちに抑圧してきた感情や衝動、そして見過ごしてきた潜在能力を、一つ一つ丁寧に意識の光にさらし、あなたのパーソナリティの中に組み込んでいく、深く、そして時に困難な探求です。この計り知れない価値を持つ過程を通じて、あなたは外からの評価に決して左右されない、揺るぎない自信と、内側から尽きることなく溢れ出るような、静かで、しかし力強い輝きを身につけることができるのです。この輝きこそが、人々を磁石のように引きつけ、あなたの存在そのものを、最も魅力的で、最も本物らしく、そして最も感動的なものにする真の力なのです。あなたが自分らしくいるだけって、周囲の人々を自然と引きつける、あの内なる輝きを目覚めさせる旅は、あなたの内なる世界、特に無意識の深淵を探求することから始まります。この探求の旅で最も重要となるのが、これまであなたが意識的に、あるいは無意識のうちに抑圧し、心の奥底に封じ込めてきた、影、シャドウ、との勇敢な対面です。影とは、私たちが自分自身の中で受け入れがたいと感じるあらゆる側面を指します。それは、あなたの弱さ、不安、嫉妬、怒り、劣等感、あるいは社会的に不適切とされる衝動のすべてかもしれません。また、あなたがまだ開花させていない潜在的な才能や、無意識のうちに避け続けてきた行動パターンであることもあります。私たちは幼い頃から周囲の期待に依頼、社会に適合するために、これらの側面を心の奥底に押し込めてきました。しかし、この抑圧こそが、あなたの内なるエネルギーの流れを滞らせ、真の輝きを曇らせる原因となるだけでなく、心の奥底に説明のつかない不満や自己肯定感の欠如といった形で重くのしかかってくるのです。あなたが心の奥底で感じているあの漠然とした空虚感や人生への不適合感は、この影があなたに気づいてほしいと魂の底から呼びかけている切なるサインかもしれません。この影との対面はしばしば痛みを伴うものです。なぜなら、それはあなたが長年築き上げてきた理想の自己像、あるいは、私はこうあるべきだ、という固定観念が、音を立てて崩れ去るような経験だからです。しかし、ユング心理学は、この痛みを伴う探求こそが、真の感情の癒しへとつながる、唯一無二の道だと説きます。 あなたが最も恐れ、最も隠そうとしてきた自分自身の側面を勇気を出して意識の光の中にさらし、それをあなたの全体性の一部として受容するとき、あなたは計り知れないほどの解放感と、心の底からの、そして揺るぎない新たな自己受容の感覚を得るでしょう。それはまるで、長い間閉ざされ、光も風も届かなかった心の部屋の窓を、ついに開け放ち、新鮮な空気と暖かい光が流れ込み、よどんでいたよどみが一掃されるような劇的な変化です。このプロセスを通して、あなたは過去の傷や、心の奥底に沈んでいたネガティブな感情の重荷を下ろし、心が深く、そして本質的に癒されていくのを感じることができます。この深い癒しは、あなたがこれまで自分らしくないと感じていた不適合感や漠然とした不安、さらには鬱として現れていた心の重苦しさといったあらゆる心のサイクルを断ち切り、真の自由へとあなたを導く力となるのです。真に自分らしくいるだけで人を引きつける女性は、この影との対面と統合の旅を勇敢に歩んだ人々です。彼女たちは自身の弱さを認め、それを隠そうとしない真の強さを持っています。彼女たちは完璧であろうと無理することなく、ありのままの自分自身を表現することで、内側から溢れ出るような本物のオーラと、人を引きつけてやまない無意識の輝きを放つのです。これは、あなたがこれまで感じていた、個人としての不適合という感覚から完全に解放され、あなた自身の内なる真実に基づいて生きる、個人の変革へと至る道です。この変革は、あなたが社会の期待や他者の目に縛られることなく、あなた自身の内なる声に耳を傾け、あなた固有の真の人生を生きることを可能にします。それは、まるであなたが自分自身の魂の指揮者となり、人生という壮大なオーケストラを自由に奏でるような感覚です。あなたが心の奥底から自分自身を受け入れたとき、その自己受容のエネルギーがあなたの存在全体から輝きとなり、周囲の人々を自然と引きつけ、あなたの人生に計り知れない喜びと真の安らぎをもたらすでしょう。この輝きこそが無理に求めずとも自然に与えられる究極の魅力の表れなのです。あなたが自分らしくいるだけで人を引きつけるあの輝きは決して偶然に生まれたものではありません。それはあなたの心の奥深くで展開される果てしない自己発見の旅の結晶なのです。ユング心理学が教えるように、私たちの真の自己は表面的な自我、エゴの背後に隠されており、この無限の広がりを持つ内なる宇宙を探求することこそが、私たちが心の底から求める内なる平和へとつながる唯一の道です。この自己発見の旅は、あなたの内なる風景を詳細に描くことに似ています。あなたがこれまで知らなかった、あるいは見て見ぬふりをしてきたあなたの感情の起伏、思考のパターン、潜在的な才能、そして人生の目的のヒントが、この旅の途中で次々と明らかになっていくでしょう。それは、まるで霧が晴れて、目の前に広大な、しかしこれまで気づかなかった壮大な景色が現れるような感覚です。この旅において、私たちは自身の心と精神の探求を深めます。ユング心理学や分析心理学のレンズを通して、私たちは人間の無意識の驚くべき深さと、それが私たちの日常生活、人間関係、そして幸福感に与える計り知れない影響を理解し始めます。夢の解釈、シンボルの意味、そして繰り返し現れる心のパターンを学ぶことは、あなたが自身の内なる声をより深く聞き、無意識からのメッセージを理解するための強力なツールとなります。かつて、一人の研究者がいました。彼は長年、自分の専門分野で輝かしい業績を上げていましたが、個人的な人間関係では常に満たされない感覚を抱いていました。彼は論理と客観性を重んじるあまり、自分自身の感情や他者の感情を理解することに全く価値を見出していませんでした。ユング心理学に出会い、感情という彼が最も疎んじていた機能こそが、彼の劣等機能であり、彼の心の奥底に抑圧された影の一部であったことに気づきます。彼は自身の感情と向き合うことを避け続けた結果、人間関係において深い壁を感じ、 孤独に苛まれていたのです。この気づきは彼に深い苦痛を与えましたが、同時に彼の人生における最大の自己発見の瞬間となりました。彼は感情を受け入れ始め、それらを意識的に探求することで、これまで閉ざされていた心の扉が開き、周囲の人々との間に真の共感とつながりを築けるようになったのです。この経験は彼の人生に深い成長と心の奥底からの平和をもたらしました。彼の内なる輝きは増し、その存在そのものが周囲の人々に安らぎを与えるようになりました。この深い自己の探求は、あなたがこれまで抱えていたうつの根源にある感情の抑圧を解放し、心の傷を癒すための重要なステップです。あなたが自分自身を深く理解し、そのすべてを受け入れるとき、心の奥底からの癒しが起こります。それは、まるで深い根を張った古木が、嵐を乗り越え、より一層強く、そして美しく成長していくようなものです。あなたが自分の影の部分を統合し、無意識の知恵に触れることで、あなたはこれまで想像もしなかったような成長を遂げることができます。この成長は、単なる知識の増加やスキルの向上にとどまりません。それは、あなたの魂が本来持つ無限の可能性を開花させ、より全体的な人間として、この世界に存在することを意味します。真に自分らしく輝く女性は、この内なる平和と成長の旅を勇敢に歩み、その過程で外からの評価に左右されない、確固たる心の平和を見出した人々です。彼女たちは内なる羅針盤に従い、自分自身の道を迷うことなく進むことで、その存在そのものが周囲の人々に安らぎとインスピレーションを与えるのです。あなたが自分らしくいるだけで人を引きつけるあの輝きは、単なる自己需要の産物ではありません。それは、深く根ざした個人としての不適合への問いかけ、すなわち、個人的な不適合という感覚を乗り越え、真の個人的な変革を追求した結果として現れる、魂の決意の表れなのです。私たちはみんな、無意識のうちに社会の期待や慣習という見えない鎖に縛られています。他人と同じであること、目立たないこと、波風を立てないこと。これらは、時に私たちを安全な場所に留まらせるかもしれませんが、同時に、あなたの内なる真実の輝きを抑圧し、あなたが本来持つ無限の可能性を閉じ込めてしまうことにもなりかねません。この不適合という感覚は、あなたが心の奥底で感じている、社会の方にはまらない自分自身の声、つまり、これでいいのかという根源的な問いから生じます。この問いこそが、あなたの無意識の輝きを目覚めさせる最初の火花となるのです。ユング心理学は、この不適合という感覚を自己変革への強力な推進力と捉えます。あなたが社会の定めた枠組みや他者の期待に疑問を抱き始めたとき、それはあなたの魂がより深く、より真実の自己を求めているサインです。この個人的な不適合への健全な不満こそが、あなたを自己変革の道へと駆り立てるのです。それはまるで、さなぎが蝶へと変貌を遂げるように、これまでの古い殻を破り捨て、全く新しい、より美しく、より自由な自分として生まれ変わるプロセスです。この変革は、あなたの内なる葛藤と向き合い、これまで見過ごしてきたあなたの側面、特に影を受け入れることを通して実現されます。あなたが自分自身のすべてを愛せるようになったとき、あなたは外からの評価に左右されない、揺るぎない自己肯定感を築くことができます。そして、この自己肯定感こそが、あなたの存在そのものを輝かせ、周囲の人々を自然と引きつける、究極の磁力となるのです。自分らしくいるだけで惹かれる女性は、この個人的な不適合を恐れず、むしろそれを自己成長の糧としてきました。彼女たちは他人の目を気にすることなく、自身の心の声に忠実に従い、自分自身の価値観に基づいて人生を歩む勇気を持っています。例えば、社会が女性はこうあるべきと提示する方にはまらず、自身の才能や情熱を追求し、独自の道を切り開いてきた女性がいます。彼女は周囲から 変わり者と見られることもありましたが、その不適合という感覚こそが、彼女を内省へと向かわせ、ユング心理学を通して自身の影と向き合うきっかけとなりました。彼女は自身の内に秘められた強さや独立心という影の部分を受け入れることで、これまで抑圧してきた創造性を解き放ち、唯一無二の存在として輝き始めました。彼女は無理に誰かに好かれようとすることなく、ただ彼女自身であることで、人々を深く引きつけ、多くの人々にインスピレーションを与える存在となったのです。この物語が示すように、あなたの個人的な不適合という感覚は、真の自己変革と、あなたの無意識の輝きを目覚めさせるための貴重な贈り物なのです。私たちがこれまで辿ってきた旅は、自分らしくいるだけで惹かれる女の正体が外見や表面的な振る舞いではなく、内なる無意識の輝き、すなわちカール・グスタフ・ユングが説く自己の目覚めと個性化の過程によって放たれるものであることを明らかにしました。この輝きは、あなたが自分自身の光も影も長所も短所も、そして社会が与える枠にはまらない、個人的な不適合をもすべて受け入れたときに、あなたの魂の奥底から自然と湧き上がってくるものです。それは無理に何かを演じる必要のない、ありのままのあなたの存在そのものが放つ、最も純粋で最も強力な魅力なのです。あなたがこの旅を通して内なる影と勇敢に向き合い、抑圧された感情を解放し、そして真の自己を受容したとき、あなたはこれまで想像もしなかったような心の平和と成長を手に入れるでしょう。この深い自己理解と内なる平和こそがあなたの人生全体に計り知れない喜びと揺るぎない充足感をもたらします。あなたはもはや外からの評価や他者の期待に振り回されることはありません。あなたの行動はあなた自身の内なる声、つまり自己の導きによって行われ、その一つ一つがあなたの魂の真実と共鳴します。この生き方こそが真に自分らしい生き方であり、あなたの存在そのものが周囲の人々にとってのインスピレーションとなり、安らぎを与える源となるのです。それはまるで大木が深く根を張り、どんな嵐にも揺るがないように、あなたの内なる基盤が強固になり、人生のどんな困難にも立ち向かえるようになることです。真に自分らしく輝く女性は、この内なる平和と成長の旅を勇敢に歩み、その過程で外からの評価に左右されない、確固たる心の平和を見出した人々です。彼女たちは内なる羅針盤に従い、自分自身の道を迷うことなく進むことで、その存在そのものが周囲の人々に安らぎとインスピレーションを与えるのです。では、あなた自身の無意識の輝きを目覚めさせ、ただ自分らしくいるだけで人を引きつける存在となるために、今、あなたにできることは何でしょうか？この動画が終わり、静かな空間で、ほんの数分間、あなたの心の奥底に耳を傾けてみてください。あなたが本当に情熱を感じること、あなたがこれまで無意識のうちに抑圧してきた感情、あるいはあなたが自分らしくないと感じていた部分に意識的に光を当ててみてください。それは日記に書き出すことかもしれません。瞑想を通して内なる声に耳を傾けることかもしれません。あるいは信頼できる誰かとあなたの本当の気持ちを分かち合うことかもしれません。この小さな一歩があなたの魂が真の自己へと向かう最初の一歩となるでしょう。この動画があなたの心の奥深くに響き、あなた自身の内なる輝きを発見するためのインスピレーションとなったのなら、ぜひ高評価ボタンを押してください。そして、あなたがこの動画を見て感じたこと、あるいはあなたがこれまで感じていた自分らしさへの葛藤や、内なる輝きを目覚めさせるために挑戦したいことなどをコメント欄で私たちと分かち合ってください。あなたの経験や洞察がきっと同じように真の自己を求める誰かの心の光となり、道を照らすでしょう。さらに、今後もユング心理学の奥深い世界を探求し、心の真実と向き合い、真の自己受容と内なる平和への旅を続けたい方は、ぜひチャンネル登録をして、私たちのコミュニティに参加してください。共に、 心の奥底に眠る真実を解き明かし、ありのままの自分で輝き、人生を創造していきましょう。あなたの無意識の輝きは、今、ここから目覚め始めます。
You have come to the place where something you've been wanting for a while, even though it is not yet manifest, is not only tolerable, but, well, let's just start there. It's tolerable. You're able to put up with unfulfilled desires. It's all right for now to have an idea of something and not have it manifested. That's all right with you? We understand, but you've really got to get so you say yes to that before things will start coming easily, because it is that very discomfort that you feel over things not yet manifesting that causes a longer and longer and longer delay in them manifesting. Because when you want something and you notice it hasn't happened yet, and you keep noticing that it hasn't happened yet, and you keep feeling the way you feel when you notice it hasn't happened yet, that feeling is your indicator that you're offering a vibration because it hasn't happened yet that matches it not having happened yet. And as long as the vibration that you're offering is about it not having happened yet, then it can't happen. So, do you sort of get it that you must, as a deliberate creator, decide that you are not going to offer your vibration in response to what is. Because if you are offering your vibration in response to what is will remain as it is. You have to find a way of molding the energy into something that matches what you want. Most of you, even those of you who are beginning to understand about emotion, understanding that it is your guidance system, even those of you who are beginning to understand that it is a vibrational universe in which you are focused and that you are vibrational beings, still, most of you offer your vibration in response rather than in deliberate offering. Something happens, you respond vibrationally. We want you to understand that deliberate creating is about offering a vibration by purposeful intent. I'm offering this vibration because this vibration matches my desire, and if I offer this vibration which matches my desire, then my desire must manifest. 99.999999. Most of every creation is complete before you see any physical evidence. It is complete in the vibrational sense. So, if you are offering your vibration in response to what you're observing, and what you're observing is that what you want has not yet come, now you continue to offer a vibration about it not yet having come, which means you're holding yourself in that uncomfortable place, that gap, that lag between identifying that you want it and receiving it. So when we say to you, have you come to the place where those unfulfilled desires still feel all right? You feel eager, you feel hopeful, you feel anticipation. You're looking forward to it unfolding, but you're not disappointed that it has not yet unfolded. Now you're getting close to the vibrational proximity that's going to let it flow. We want you, as you begin to bring this idea of allowing the energy that creates worlds to flow through you toward your creative end. We want you to feel how well named this gathering is, as we call it, the art of allowing, because you become very practiced, very good, very artful. You become very practiced at recognizing where you stand by recognizing how you feel. So we're just going to say it to you in as plain of words as Esther can find in response to the powerful intent that we are offering to you. You have to want more than anything to feel good. And you have to be willing to work harder on this than anything else on feeling good. And here's the blunt statement that we want you to leave here remembering. You've got to stop letting what is dictate your emotional response. So, somebody hurts your feelings. You don't want to be somebody that somebody can hurt your feelings. You don't want to be hanging out there so tentatively that terrorists could strike in a part of the world that has nothing to do with you, and it can make you afraid. You don't want to be hanging out here in such a fragile position that someone that you care about could be disconnected, having a bad day, say something to you and hurt your feelings, and have them, who you can't control, wouldn't want to even if you could, or speaking from your inner being point of view, of course. Well, we can see why you would want to control other people's behavior if you're someone who hasn't learned the art of allowing. If you're looking around and having emotional responses to what you're seeing, we can understand why you'd get pretty heavy on the trying to control circumstances and conditions. But by now, we would have thought you would have given that up because you're not able to do it. And as soon as you get one of them corralled and managed and molded in the way that they need to be so that you can look at them and feel good, another one just pops up. Or that one goes off and meets some new friend and starts catering to what they want instead of catering to what you want, and then you're back to square one again. You spent 18 years teaching that kid how to behave, and then he fell in love, and now he's doing what she wants. So if the way you feel is dependent upon controlling even one condition, you're in big trouble because you can't manage to control those conditions, but you can manage with all of the possible things that you have that you could focus upon and think about and remember and ponder and muse and observe and imagine. With all of the things that you could focus upon, past, present, or future, certainly there are enough things that feel good when you do it that you can manage your own mood. And the art of allowing is nothing more than managing your mood. It's saying, I want to feel good, and when I do feel good, I'm in alignment with good things. Now, conceptually, that's really easy to understand, isn't it? But you've trained yourself to respond to so many things other than that, even though you were born with a guidance system, even though you were born with this incredible ability to assess in every moment your vibrational point of attraction. It is interesting to us when we see you not understanding today that a good feeling is a good thing and that a bad feeling is not such a good thing. We want you to be willing to feel good on purpose for a little while and to watch the results of that deliberate offering of vibration. But that means directing thought on purpose. And directing thought on purpose, you could tell us this, in fact you do often, is not as easy as we make it out to be. Because, and here's where we let you off the hook, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. Law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn. So if you've been focusing by virtue of some circumstance or events that you've been living on something that's causing you to offer a particular vibration, we acknowledge that it is easier for you to find other thoughts that match that vibration than it is to find very different thoughts. In fact, we'll really let you off the hook by saying, but only briefly, so don't get used to it. We will really let you off the hook by saying, you actually cannot find thoughts that are very far from the thoughts that you are thinking. In other words, if you're depressed and some bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Abraham student comes to you and says, you know, you create your own reality and you're supposed to feel good and things can get better for you, all you have to do is cheer up. You're thinking, I do not create my own reality or you'd be gone. It's just annoying to have someone all bright and happy and sure of themselves, flapping in your face when you are in a place of not feeling good. We know that, but what we want you to understand is, unless you make an effort to feel better, and unless you accomplish feeling better, you have not shifted your vibration at all. And if you have not shifted your vibration, things cannot change. And dear hearts, there is not enough effort in the world to make the difference. You can't work hard enough. You can't work long enough. You can't gather enough other resources to you. You cannot buck the current of your own vibration. But unless you have convinced yourself that the way you feel is guidance and that good is moving toward what is good, is that hard to understand? Well, it's hard to understand by many of you who have had many people who didn't want you to move toward your good. They wanted you to do what they thought would move them toward their good. So they said to you, never mind how you feel, do what you should do. And what you should do is what I say you should do. And so disregard your own guidance and pay attention to these rules that I have laid out for you. And oh boy, are there piles of rules. Each one offered from somebody else's vantage point, each one offered so that you can fulfill something that they need, because so many of them are still living a very conditional love. They want to feel good. They're well-meaning. They want to feel good, and they need you to behave in a certain way so that they can feel good. But do you hear the trap? So they need to feel good, so they set out rules, so you follow the rules so that they can feel good. But they can't get everybody to follow the rules, so they never really feel good. So they keep offering more rules, and you keep getting more lost because you are not using the guidance that you were born with to quantify your own journey. Have we convinced you? Have we convinced you that the way you feel is everything? Do you believe that when you feel good, you are in a vibrational place of allowing what you want in? Please believe it, because there is nothing that could be more accurate. So we're going to be a little heavy today. I'm going to emphasize it a great deal, because it really is what the art of allowing is about. We want you to leave here, if not already really good at it, at least determined to get better at it, at being one who molds your energy. Let's say it in a different way, of being one who creates your own mood. Because you understand that when you create a mood of joy, you're allowing everything that you've been asking for to come in. When you create a mood of love, you're allowing everything that you want to flow in. When you create a mood of expectancy, you're allowing everything you want. When you feel ornery, when you feel pessimistic, when you feel afraid, when you feel angry, even when you're frustrated and overwhelmed, those are indications that you've got your frequency set in a different place, and sincere, concentrated, deliberate molding is in order. So if someone says to you, what are you working on these days? Tell them, I'm working on my own mood and attitude. And if they're wise enough to ask you why, tell them, because that's my true, in the moment indication of how many of the wonderful things that I have been praying for and asking for, I'm allowing into my experience right now. Tell them, I'm no longer dictating my focus by whether it's interesting or whether it's important or whether somebody else is pointing at it or whether somebody else has made a big deal about it. I'm no longer guiding my sculpture of my life by any outside factor or guidance. I'm guiding it completely by the way I feel. And when you get there, now you are ready to travel with us on an emotional journey that will take you into the resources and the realm of all things wonderful that you have ever imagined. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. And there is nothing that is keeping you from the accomplishment or the achieving of anything, other than your own attitude, other than your own mood, other than your own focus, other than your own emotional response to what you're giving your attention to. So leave this gathering today deciding that you're no longer one whose feelings can be hurt, because your feelings are no longer up for grab. Because your feelings are not dependent upon what somebody else thinks or does. Your feelings are dependent upon your choice of focus. And since that person that may hurt your feelings also could not hurt your feelings, you've got choices in your imagination. And since that person that may have just hurt your feelings has also done things that thrilled you, you have choices in your memory. And because that person who's trying to hurt your feelings right now is not the only person in your awareness right now, you've got choices right now. You have choices. The emotional journey says, and this is where we're letting you off the hook again. The emotional journey says the choices that you have are not from despair all the way to bliss. You don't have that choice, not right now. Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? Yes. You're knowing what you're wanting? Nice to want? Nice to have desire? Do you like the way your desire continues to expand and clarify? Yeah. And do you believe that you are, for the most part, up to speed with your desire? Do your beliefs match them? Do you believe what you want? Do you believe in your ability to be or do or have these things that you desire? We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. Because that's it, isn't it? When you have desire, which life will continue to help focus within you, and you're not contradicting your desire with a belief that opposes it. I want this, and I believe that it is in the process of becoming. And I am satisfied with where it is right now at this phase along my path. Now that's the perfect emotional, vibrational stance. When you recognize that there is always going to be something more that you will want, you will never be in a place of completion, ever. So as long as you are happy in your eternal incompletion, then you can live happily ever after. But if you need a condition to change, if you need a situation to be different, if you need that phone to stop ringing before you can be happy, then you're, as Esther says, screwed. Because there are always conditions that are going to be out of your control. In fact, more conditions are out of your control than are in your control when you take on the whole of everything that you may be giving your attention to. So the key to living happily ever after, having all of the success that you were born to have, and by success we mean alignment, joy, and everything that will follow that, which is everything you desire. The key to that is understanding that you are a vibrational being, first and foremost. You are beautifully manifested in your flesh, blood, and bone. Your ability to see and hear and smell and taste and touch this magnificent time-space reality is something that you came for too. In other words, you came for this leading edge manifestation. And the manifestations of all of the things that surround you, the experiences, the people, the life, all of that is leading edge manifestation that you came specifically for. You didn't come to sit over in a corner and meditate all day. You came to live life fully, to focus fully within it. You came to flow your consciousness into this time-space reality, but you also intended something that most humans are not very good at accomplishing yet. You intended to tune yourself to the frequency of the whole of who you are, so that the whole of who you are is having this moment in time. And that requires a handful of things. First, you got to understand that you are vibrational and that the entire universe is. Next, you have to understand that the way you feel is the key to your understanding what your vibrational output is. What it is in relationship to what you want, and what it is in relationship to who you really are, to the trajectory of who you really are. Who were you when you made the decision to come into this time-space reality, to focus into this body? Who were you as a consciousness? You were consciousness who knew your value, who came with great interest. You knew your worthiness, you knew your capability, you knew the potential of being here. And when you get off track from knowing who you are, from knowing your value, from appreciating where you are and who you are, then you begin to practice vibrational frequencies. They come to you in the form of the thoughts that you think. Eventually they become beliefs, because all a belief is a thought that you keep thinking. It's a well-practiced thought. So sometimes, in fact often, you come into your physical body, and instead of being aware of the trajectory from which you have come, the trajectory of the energy that is focused to you and through you, instead you care more about how others who are walking around in their physical bodies are seeing you. You care more about what their response to you is than you care about, and here's the important word, than you care about your own source energy response to who you are. Your source energy response to who you are is steady. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are understood, you are backed up, you are supported, you are known, you are pure positive energy from the perspective of Source, who sees you, hear it, unconditionally. Source knowing your value regardless of where you stand in any moment in time. But for you, often, you don't stand in an unconditional place. You come into a situation, and sometimes you respond to the condition of where you are. When the gang gathered last night, getting this room ready for you, the air wall was up here, and there wasn't room for all of you and all of this. And the contract that they'd signed clearly stated that there were to be 400, but a lot of you made the decision at the last minute. Did you notice? Over 100 of you made the decision at the last minute. And so here's the condition. What we planned for and those who are coming are a very different number. So the condition clearly was not pleasing. Now, everyone knows that it's possible to squeeze you all in. Now you look at it, though, it doesn't really look as possible as it looked last night, did it? There is this square dance area up here that could have been utilized, but for the most part, the room was not big enough. It had not been planned to be big enough because you were underestimated in your enthusiasm for this gathering. So there was a condition that had to be reconciled, and it had to be reconciled at the last minute. There wasn't time to go sit by the beach and think pleasant thoughts about the dolphins. And Esther is thinking, Abraham's going to talk all day long about unconditional love. I know they are. And here we are in a condition that we do not love. And we cannot take our attention away from the condition because we are up against it. And that's what happens to you sometimes, isn't it? Is that you walk into a situation that is the result of the momentum that has been moving along, and now you're standing there in the middle of it, and if you are like most humans, you respond to the condition. But here's the thing that matters most. What do you do next? Someone said the other day, Abraham, how does one? She meant, how do I? But how does one? I have a friend. How does one get rid of doubt? And we said, you get rid of it before you get it, which is totally annoying. Because once you've got it, Abraham, you squirrely ghost. How do you get rid of doubt? Well, doubt is the way you feel when you're focused upon something, and have been for a while, that you believe that is contrary to who you really are and what you really want. All negative emotion means exactly that. Your life has caused you to expand into a new vibrational becoming. How do those words set with you? Do you like knowing that you are constantly becoming something that is more? But the tricky thing about that is, since you are constantly becoming something that is more, you've got to vibrationally figure out how to vibrationally keep up with what you have vibrationally become. Did we mention that you're vibrational? In other words, you cannot expand as life will constantly cause you to do and not keep up with your own expansion and feel good at the same time. So you have to care about the way you feel. That's the way you keep up with your expansion. But caring about the way you feel means doing something about the way you feel regardless of the condition. And that's where the term unconditional love comes in. Humans have been using the phrase for a very long time, and hardly any of you really understand what it means. You think unconditional love means look at some rascal who is really behaving in a bad way and just don't say anything about it. Don't rat him out. Don't talk to somebody else about him. Don't get him fired. Just love him unconditionally as you despise his behavior and most other things about him. And we say, that's maybe what you might call tolerance. In other words, you're putting up with it. You're not freaking out about it, but it is not unconditional, because this condition that you are focused upon is an opinion that differs from the opinion that the source within you holds about it, because the source within you is holding an unconditional point of view. Well, before this day is over, you're going to understand completely why we, from source, are able to hold things from an unconditional viewpoint. We'll give you a statement that you may be ready to receive, and then we'll fill in the gaps as we continue over the next few hours. But the reason that we are able to focus upon any situation unconditionally is because the current conditions, or the what isness of whatever it isness, doesn't mean diddly squatness. In other words, what is doesn't matter, because what is only a temporary reflection of the vibration that you got going on. So we want to explain to you what we mean. You were source energy before you came into this physical body. And a part of you is focused here in this physical body, but a larger part of you is still non-physically focused. You are source energy, and a part of that source energy is focused here and now. So in your human form, you sift through, you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, you continue to sift through the data, and you constantly, whether you know you are doing it or not, are launching rockets of desire. We call them rockets of desire. They're your personal preferences. When someone's rude, you want them to be nicer. When you're rude, you want to be nicer. When you don't have enough money, you want more money. In other words, life just causes you to sift and sort and launch these rockets. So this vibrational becoming is happening constantly. And it is a vibrational becoming. Now, it hasn't manifested yet, therefore it's unconditional. You see what we're getting at? It hasn't manifested into conditions for you to observe. It hasn't manifested into a condition that is unpleasant or into a condition that is pleasant. It's a vibrational rocket of desire that has created. If you've been listening to us for a while, you've seen all of our creative ways of trying to explain to you this stuff that is not physical into this, what we've been calling a vibrational reality. We even gave it the name of a vortex. It's this vibrational state of being that is the precursor to everything else that is coming for you. So this vibrational state of being, which is where your inner being stands, it's where we stand, it's who you really are, has not yet manifested. It has become in terms of an idea. It has become in terms of a hope or a dream. There's enough in your vortex to keep you busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. In other words, it is the beginning of that which you are. And you know that vortex existed before you were even born into your physical body, because there was a projection of intention from non-physical. There was a vibrational reality that had so much to do about you before you were even born into this physical body. Do you see what we're getting at? This vibrational precursor of that which is you. It was like the vibrational plan. It was like the vibrational probability. It's the vibrational reality. So now you're here in your physical body. You're adding to this vibrational reality. The question that we want to help you ask and answer for yourself is, how much of a vibrational gap is there between the things that life has caused me to ask for and the things that I believe, the things that I practice in my thought? And you can tell, two ways you can tell. One is by the way you feel. If you're joyful, there's no gap. If you're feeling appreciation, there's no gap. If you're angry, quite a big gap. That's one way. You can tell by the emotions that you feel. But the other way is you can tell by how things are manifesting. Because when who you are and what you want and what you think on a regular basis are in the same vibrational frequency, it's manifesting all around you. Others can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it too. It is a reality. It is a what is. It is a manifestation. You want to call it reality. It is real in the sense that others see it too. But we so want you to understand that before there is a reality, the way you want to call it reality, there is a vibrational reality. And that vibrational reality is filled with all that you have become and are becoming. And you have the ability, if you understand what we're talking about here, to close that gap and have what you want.